by for Rob Hawkins.
Well, welcome, guys. And again, thank you so much for coming online tonight. Well, guys, this has been something that I've been looking forward to for, I'm going to tell you, I've been here 3 years now. And it's, you know, as the timeline goes along, you know that you've got to start with a mold of clay, and you've got to then try to get that into where the people want it, as in the registrations and the approvals for your products in Australia. We're very, very fortunate that last month of January 2022, we were given our TGA listing numbers, so our Therapeutics Goods Administration numbers, listing for our products. Incredible achievement, okay, to get those fully approved with all the label requirements that we needed here in Australia. But the next thing is that we have the movement from our oil products, from our balanced oil products, moving into the next generation products. This is allowing us then now to what we call formulate the health protocol as part of our regime here at Zenzino. So tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Ida Marie Pedersen, our global product manager. She's going to go through the new products that are being launched here in Australia, okay, that will be available to everybody as of today. You will be able to jump up online and order these products as of today. It's just, Ida Marie, it's one of those things that I look at and I go, isn't this just amazing to think that the Australian people now have full access to these incredible products. Ida Marie, first up again, thank you so much for coming online for us and sharing the next 45 minutes with your knowledge and also information you're going to share with us about these great products that are being released here in Australia, and also just for what you do for the company, okay, behind the scenes to give us these incredible formulated scientific products. Ida Marie, hand it over to you, and let's go hard for 45 minutes and educate the people about these great products that are coming. Thanks, Ida Marie.
Thank you very much, Rob, for the introduction. And we are finally here. I am so excited. I have prepared a presentation for you. So today I'm going to talk about 3 new products that we are launching into the Australian market. We're finally here. Before I go into the details and reveal which products we are launching, I need to set the site. I need to talk about why we are launching these products. Our life, our everyday life, is about making choices and prioritize. Whenever we are going into the supermarket, we are faced with tons of options. We can choose to buy whole foods, vegetables, fruits. We can choose to buy ready-made meals, or we can choose takeaway. Every day is about choices when it comes to nutrition and health. Also, we are living today in a nutritionally confused society. Whenever we are going into social media or read in the newspaper, we are faced with a lot of misconception or misunderstanding and claims about health and nutrition. One day you should avoid red meat, the next day you should eat red meat. What about gluten? Should I avoid gluten? And breakfast, is that something I should skip, or should I eat breakfast? All of these different questions we are faced every day. And I think that the more we know and the more we read, the more confused some people are. But in fact, it is actually quite easy. Let's see. To use an illustration on how we could base our diet and nutrition, we can show the food pyramid. I think that many of you are familiar with this illustration. But this illustration is showing us that if we are basing our diet on fruit, vegetables, whole grain, potatoes, milk and dairy, some fish, eggs and meat, then on the top we have fats and oil, and then on the very top we limit processed and ultra-processed foods. If we are eating according to the food pyramid, we are having a balanced and varied diet that is health promoting. The problem in 2022 is that we are not consuming whole foods, we are consuming food products. In fact, in 2022, this year, 1/3 of the people worldwide are malnourished. By 2025, half of the world will be malnourished. When we are talking about malnutrition, there are 3 types of malnutrition or conditions that we should talk about. First up is, of course, underweight, that is still very prevalent in some areas of the world. This is a very easy to see condition when it comes to malnutrition. Here we are facing a condition where we are not consuming enough energy and vitamins and minerals. Next up, we have overweight and obesity, which is also very prevalent today in many different parts of the world, and the trends are increasing. Here we are facing a condition where we consume enough or too much energy, but we are not meeting our daily requirements for essential nutrients like vitamins and minerals. The last condition is malnutrition type B, a condition we can barely see or not see at all. Here, the condition is involving not meeting daily requirements of essential nutrients, for example, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals. This is just some Norwegian headlines, but they are saying that malnutrition are also affecting our children. And this is extremely scary, at least to me. Prevention of different diseases is extremely important, and in fact, can reduce on a general basis 1/3 of all cancer conditions and 80% of all cardiovascular diseases. Meaning that this is both good news because we can do something about different conditions in the world today, but it's also very scary that we are not facing or taking this more seriously in our everyday life. The real food pyramid of 2022, my friends, are looking like this, where we have the foundation in our diet based on ultra-processed foods. Over there, or the next level up, is the processed foods like cheese and bread and so on. Then we have culinary ingredients like fats and oils. And then at the very top, the things that we are consuming less of is actually fruit and vegetables. It should be the other way around. And this pyramid, it's not healthy and it's not balanced. But it is very attractive to both the producers because they are making huge profits, and it's attractive to us because it's usually less time consuming to go out and buy some ultra processed foods. So I understand why the situation is what it is today, but we have to take this seriously and act. In fact, 60% of the foods we are consuming are ultra processed foods. And here you see an illustration of what ultra-processed foods looks like on the right-hand side. For example, French fries, chips, cereals, frozen meals, and so on. On the left-hand side is the foods that we should focus on. We should avoid or minimize ultra-processed food because they contribute to a poor diet quality. They are low in essential nutrients, meaning vitamins and minerals, and then they are high in calories. What these 3 conditions have in common is that they are facing imbalances in our body. We are now facing 3 very important unbalanced conditions. An unbalanced relationship between omega-6 fatty acids and 3 fatty acids, unbalanced gut microbiota, and an unbalanced intake of essential nutrients. So the status of 2022, at least to me, is that we need to supplement our diet. This is why we have in Cincino developed the health protocol. The health protocol compensates for our modern diet and the lifestyle we are living. The health protocol is promoting a balanced omega-6-3 ratio. It's promoting a balanced gut microbiota, and it's promoting a balanced micronutrient intake. meeting our daily requirements. The first thing I want to discuss is the first condition that we are helping, balancing our omega-6-3 ratio. I have talked a lot about processed and ultra-processed foods now, but I just want to highlight once again that these foods, they are high in sugar, they are high in omega-6 fatty acids, they are high in salt, they are energy dense, while nutrient poor, meaning that they contribute to a lot of energy, but very little vitamins and minerals. They are typically low in fiber and high in saturated fats. When they are high in omega-6 fatty acids and we consume a lot of ultra-processed foods, we are facing a problem with an unbalanced ratio of omega-6 and 3, meaning that we have more omega-6 fatty acids in our diet than is compared to what is beneficial, and do not increase the intake of omega-3 fatty acids. Back in the days when we were gatherers, hunters, fishers, we had a very different relationship of omega-6 to 3. Then we had a ratio close to 3:1 or 1:1 in some situations or in some periods. This is what is evolutionary more beneficial compared to what we're facing today, with huge imbalances between omega-6 and omega-3. Having an unbalanced relationship between these fatty acids means that we are having more of an inflammatory state in our body. Inflammation in itself is beneficial when it's acute, and for example, if we get hurt or we are doing sports and we have an injury. An acute inflammation is the process where we heal. So an acute inflammation process is beneficial. But when the inflammation process is silent or low grade over time, this is not something that we can easily detect. But when it's low grade and silent, this will eventually manifest in very many different symptoms that is linked to the individual and their predispositions. So it will manifest differently in different individuals. The point being that when we are facing an unbalanced relationship between omega-6 fatty acids and omega-3 fatty acids, we have a choice. We can either decrease the content of omega-6 fatty acids in our diet, but as you have seen, we are consuming 60% or more of ultra-processed foods high in omega-6 fatty acids. That is our situation, our modern diet. So to me, it's much more easy and beneficial to then increase the content of omega-3 fatty acids in our diet. And we could either do that by consuming a lot of fish high in omega-3 fatty acids, but then again, we know that the fish today are not really that high in omega-3 fatty acids compared to what it used to be. So the last alternative and the best in my eyes is to supplement with omega-3 fatty acids. In Cincino, we have developed balance oil and the balance concept, and this is something that you are familiar with already, but I just want to quickly go through what the concept really is. We know that the people around the world are having imbalances of 12:1 or even 25:1 in different parts of the world between omega-6 fatty acids and 3 fatty acids. People who take omega-3 supplements, for example, in the Scandinavian countries, that is very prevalent. Usually they have a balance of 7:1. But what we want is an optimal balance below 3:1. And here is the key to why the balance oil is not an ordinary omega-3 supplement. Balance oil contains, yes, of course, omega-3 fatty acids from fish, but it also contains olive oil that has a lot of polyphenols or strong antioxidants, protecting the formulation inside the bottle, but also the formulation on its way through our body and into the cells, incorporating the fatty acids into the cell membrane. So the polyphenols are kind of like chaperones for the omega-3 fatty acids, extremely important. There are a lot of companies trying to copy us, and they are more than welcome, but we know that our formulation works. We have made a lot of tests over the last years, and this is a very strong and efficient way of supplementing with omega-3 fatty acids. So the key here is the combination of fish oil and a high content of polyphenols from olive oil. Today, for the Australian markets, we have different balanced oil products, or different products of the balance concept. We have, of course, the balance test. We have balance oil. We have the ordinary. We have balance oil Aqua X. We have vegan, and we have balance oil premium. The last supplement to the balance concept for the Australian market, and one of the products that are being launched today, is Ascent Plus Premium. And I am extremely proud to talk about Ascent Plus Premium now, because it's the first time that we as a company actually present this product out there. Ascent Plus Premium is our soft gel capsules that contains, of course, fish oil and olive oil, but here we use our own Revo oil, which has a higher content of polyphenols compared to ordinary olive oils. And of course, we have vitamin D3 in the product, as well as we also have for the balanced oils that I just showed you. The proprietary blends of Ascent Plus Premium is that we have the Sensino polyphenol blend with hydroxytyrosol, cacao, and olive polyphenols. The second proprietary blend we have is the Sensino Balance Blend with, of course, EPA, DHA, which are both omega-3 fatty acids, and omega-9 from the olive oil. Here you see the contents of 3 capsules of Ascent Plus Premium. And what you should see and make note of is the very high content of both the omega-3 fatty acids, both EPA and DHA, which is the same as we had for the old Ascent, as many of you also are familiar with. But what is the big difference and the upgrade in Ascent Plus Premium is the higher content of polyphenols. We know that having a higher content of polyphenols will protect, as I explained earlier, both the formulation, the oil inside the capsules here, and the oil on its way to the cells and incorporating them into the cell membrane. We have a daily dose, which is the same as we had for the old Ascent, for those of you who are familiar with that product. 1 soft gel per 30 kilogram of body weight. And what is really cool here is that we have, this product is natural. We have only used natural food additives. For example, we have used beeswax in the capsules. It's keto friendly, it's non-GMO, and also it's GMP certified. We are extremely happy and proud about Ascent Plus Premium and the upgrade we have made, making an even stronger claim and making an even stronger product part of the balance concept. The second thing I want to discuss today is balancing our gut. Going back to this slide, we know that the processed and ultra-processed foods are typically very low in fiber. Fiber is important for gut health, and today, with the westernized diet and the use of antibiotics, a condition called dysbiosis is very common. Dysbiosis is an unbalanced gut microbiota where we have less good bacteria and more bad bacteria in the gut. We know that this condition is influencing different factors. We know that we produce less short-chain fatty acids, for example, which I will get back to in a few seconds, and we produce more LPS, influencing both health and different conditions linked to gut health. 70 to 80% of our immune cells are found in the colon, so it's our job to nurture our gut the best way. When we are looking at actual fiber intake by country, usually we see that the average is around 20 grams. However, the recommended daily dose is in fact 25 to 35 grams a day. In Australia, the average intake is little less than 21 grams on an average basis, meaning that the average intake in Australia, as well as in the rest of the world, is too low. There are different factors influencing gut health. We know that some factors, they have an anti-inflammatory effect, while others have a pro-inflammatory effect, meaning that they are contributing to inflammation. When I am talking about nutrition, or if I'm having consultations one-to-one, I like to focus on what we can do something about, instead of focusing too much on what we should avoid. So to me, it's quite easy to me, it's very important that we are focusing on the factors on the left-hand side. What we are consuming. For example, how much fiber we are consuming a day, what kind of fiber we are consuming, how much plant food we are consuming in our diet. And here is just, for example, an exercise that you can do is that you can sit down at the end of your day and list all of the different plant foods that you have been consuming that day. And a challenge here to yourself could be to increase the amount of plant food the next day and the next day. Fermented food is also important, contributing to a beneficial environment in our gut. All of these four factors, they are contributing to diversity, or they are linked to diversity, meaning that for a good gut health, we want different types of fibers, we want enough fibers, and we want variation. A diversity in our fiber intake is promoting a growth of different good bacteria. The first effect, and what I have been talking a lot about, is gut health. And the reason why fiber is important for gut health is that they are linked to, or they are substrates in bacterial fermentation. For example, resistant starch being one fiber type, they are metabolized by a bacteria family called Firmicutes, producing butyrate. And we know that butyrate is an extremely important short-chain fatty acids linked to numerous of health outcomes. For example, they are energy source of the cells in our gut, the colonocytes, and they are also promoting an anti-inflammatory environment. But it's not only gut health that is beneficial when it comes to outcomes of fiber, because fibers, they are also involved in lowering the rise in blood sugar after we eat. When we are consuming fiber to a meal compared to when we are not adding fiber, we will have less of a rise in our blood sugar. You see the lower graph here that I have tried to illustrate. Here is a typical example where you have a meal without fiber, which is the highest rise, and you have included fiber in the lowest rise. So fiber reduces the blood sugar spike after meals and influence both our appetite and satiety, how full we are feeling after the meal and how hungry or how fast we will get hungry again after we consume meals. They are influencing insulin production and consequently then also weight management. The third effect or health benefit I will talk about when it comes to fiber is lowering cholesterol. And we know that many different conditions today, for example, cardiovascular diseases, are linked to cholesterol production or cholesterol metabolization in our body. So lowering cholesterol on a general basis, or making sure that we are having the best environment for not producing too much cholesterol, is a good idea. When we are consuming fiber together with a meal, this fiber will reach the stomach and travel to the small intestine. Here it will mixes with, or cholesterol from the food and from the liver will mix. And if we have fiber or soluble fiber present, they will form a gel around the cholesterol and bind it and takes it out of the body. That means that we have less cholesterol traveling back to the circulation. When we know that the actual fiber intake around the world are too low, we could increase our intake through consuming more plant food, because we find fiber in plant food only. We also know that whenever we are consuming more food, we are consuming more energy. That is logic. So the other alternative and more efficient, I would say, is to increase your intake by adding a supplement. And here is the second product now that we are launching into the Australian market and also part of the health protocol, Synabiotic Plus. Synabiotic Plus is an extremely unique fiber product or fiber blend, because Synabiotic, unless or compared to very many other fiber products out there, consist of 8 different sources to fibers. And please remember what I told you about diversity being key to a good gut health. Here we have included 8 different sources to fiber. This blend is also gluten-free, which is quite rare when we look at different fiber products out there. It's all natural. It doesn't contain any additives at all. It's in line with what the consumer wants and the consumer demand. And the 8 different sources to fiber I have listed on the right-hand side here. We have resistant starch from maize. We have beta-glucans from oat, fructooligosaccharides from chicory root, inulin, psyllium husk, resistant starch from green bananas, guar gum, and resistant starch from potatoes. 1 scoop is 12 grams. And 2 scoops is 12 grams, meaning that 1 daily dose will take the population from an inadequate intake of fiber to an adequate or sufficient intake. So by using Synabiotic, we make sure that we reach the fiber recommendations worldwide. The last thing I wanted to discuss here today, and also the last product linked to this condition, is balancing our intake of essential micronutrients. Going back to the slide once again, we know that processed and ultra-processed foods, they are typically energy dense and nutrient poor. We are living in a society where the technology today have rocket or shot through the roof. So many changes have happened the last 50 years. The way we are producing food has changed. People eating by a certain label, for example, gluten-free, although they are not having celiac disease, excluding different food groups in their diet. So many changes have happened over the years, making us very vulnerable for a low intake of different vitamins and minerals. We know that vitamin D deficiency affects 1 out of 8 people worldwide. And in Australia, I found some recent numbers where I saw that between 12 and 17 years of age, 17 of the adolescent population in Australia is vitamin D deficient, while the little older adolescents or young adults up to the year of 24, 1 in 3 are vitamin D deficient. And that is very scary to me. The sources to vitamin D in our diet are, the most important source is of course the sun, but we know that we have different seasonal variations. So then we are left with the food. The problem with vitamin D in the food is that we have few and poor sources to vitamin D in the food that we are consuming. Here I have listed the most important vitamin D rich sources. And the last source to vitamin D is supplements. In Cincino, for the Australian markets, we have 2 different choices when it comes to vitamin D. We have the balance oil and we have the new Ascent Plus Premium. The sunshine vitamin or vitamin D contributes to a lot of different bodily functions. It's highly linked and first and foremost to the function of the immune system. Extremely important for us to have a well-functioning immune system that is reacting to different threats. Also, vitamin D is extremely important for bone mass and not softening of bones. Here we have 2 different times in our life where vitamin D is very important. The first is when we are growing up to the year of 25 years of age, because at that point we have something called peak bone mass. Our job before that time is to make sure that we have the strongest bones, and then we need to supplement or make sure that we have enough vitamin D and calcium in our diet. After the year of 25, slowly we are starting to demineralize our bones. And here the job, or our job, is to make sure that we are eating enough or getting enough vitamin D, calcium, and other vitamins, minerals important for bone health, making sure that the softening of the bones are not going too fast. Vitamin D are linked to many other bodily functions as well, or involved, teeth, cell division, and so on. Vitamin D, as I told you, the most important factor to vitamin D in our life is the sun. But there are so many different factors influencing both our life, everyday life, and our lifestyle. For example, here in Norway, we have 4 different seasons: summer, winter, autumn, and spring. And during winter time, the sun is not strong enough to be efficient for our skin to produce vitamin D. We also know that when we are getting older, we are less able or less efficient at producing vitamin D in our skin. Our diet is changing. How much we weigh is a factor influencing vitamin D, where we know that people with more weight, carrying more weight, they need more vitamin D, for example. How much time we spend outdoors, if we're going to different conditions, for example, pregnancy, if we're putting on sunscreen, that will influence how much vitamin D we are absorbing, and so on. All of these parameters, they are in fact risk factors of not getting enough vitamin D. So the question here is my vitamin D status optimal? This is why we are now introducing the vitamin D test as part of the health protocol and as part of making sure we meet our daily requirement for essential nutrients to the Australian market. The vitamin D test will give you the answer. Our vitamin D test will reveal your vitamin D status. It's a dry blood spot sample. So it's the same procedure as you are familiar with when it comes to the balance test. The vitamin D test is measuring 25-dihydroxy vitamin D3, which is the best marker of vitamin D status, reflecting all three sources to vitamin D: sun exposure, diet, and supplements. It's very reliable, it's easy and stable, and it's suitable for shipment over long distances, for example, from Australia to the lab Vitas in Norway, which is an independent lab. What is the difference between the balance test and this test is that you have to make sure that you take one big drop of blood instead of smaller drops and many drops. If you're not able to fill the whole circle with one big drop of blood, it's important that you make sure that you have the next drop of blood within the shortest possible time for the drops not to coagulate. Everything that you will need to know about the test and about the result will be provided to you at the new cincinotest.com. The vitamin D test site will give you guidelines, explain why we need vitamin D, what kind of natural sources we have, how much vitamin D we have in the different products we have in our portfolio, and also, of course, important references. You will have your own individual vitamin D report where you see the results and also how you change depending on the tests you are taking. So these three products are now being launched to the Australian market. They will counterbalance our modern diet and lifestyle. SN Plus Premium is part of the balance concept, making sure that we are promoting a good relationship or good ratio between omega-6 fatty acids and 3 fatty acids. Cinebiotic Plus is extremely important for our gut health, making sure that we are meeting our daily requirement of fiber. And the last product that we are launching to the Australian market, the vitamin D test, is part of making sure that we meet our daily requirements while we are waiting for the last products to arrive to the Australian market. Cincino is all about test-based, individualized, and personal nutrition. And I started my presentation today to talking about choices and everyday life. I will just finish off by saying that life gives us many different choices, and it's up to us to prioritize what is important. Thank you very much for having me. And I look forward to see how all of these three products are being met in the Australian market.
Fantastic, Ida-Marie. And again, thank you so much for your time, energy, and effort that you put into that presentation. You know, it's always truly appreciated just to get your knowledge and your take on exactly where we're at with the world and with the nutritional values that we see now in our products. Okay, so let's just go over exactly where we're at, okay? I'll take 5 minutes of your time extra, Ida-Marie. First up, guys, okay, let's clearly understand where we're at. The Ascent Premium, okay, will be available in 14 days. Around 14 days, it will be available. We are doing a global launch of this product, okay, and it's coming available around the world on the 14th. So in Australia, we have got it in the warehouse, don't worry, where you cannot order it for another 14 days. So stand by, this product will be available. This beautiful product as well is TGA listed, Therapeutics Goods Administration listed as well. So all those things that Ida-Marie just spoke about, plus the key thing here in Australia, TGA listing, the listing number is available. Please go to the TGA website or just simply go up to our website and you can see all the listings there. The second one that we have is the Xenobiotics Plus, again, all natural product. Again, we just, the priority that's put into making an all natural formulation is our key point today in what we give our health protocol. This product is only a food product. We did not receive or did not require to get TGA listing on this product because it's a prebiotic, okay, and it's the formulation, it's a straight food product. So guys, just understand that is not TGA listed when you're talking to people about the two products. The vitamin D test, Again, a game changer in this industry, especially here in Australia. TGA listing number available on this product as well. Go up to the Xeno Balance, Xeno test site and look at the full reporting and the analysis of what this amazing test does for you. Again, it's a complementary, it doesn't replace, it's a complementary show to the star that we've got with the balance test. So the Omega testing, now we're testing for the vitamin D, which we all know, guys, okay? Yeah, the deficiency of vitamin D globally is a super problem that we've got. Now, a lot of people have been asking questions, when will the Extend Plus become? Because that's the final part of the whole protocol. This will be available, I'm going to predict, about 6 months' time. Again, TGA requires some incredible things that we have to do to get the approvals. Remember, this is just not an everyday run-of-the-mill product. This is a highly formulated, concentrated, nutritional value wellness program. And to get the approvals here in Australia, I know you're all saying, well, it's the way it is with the TGA. Ida Marie, could you just touch on 1 minute about why this product is such a beautiful product and going to be the next edition for the Australian people once the multivitamin is available?
Yeah, well, Extend Plus is a revolutionary product, not only in Australia, it's not going to be only revolutionary in Australia, but it's revolutionary on a general basis worldwide. Extend Plus is revolutionary both because of the content of the extremely many different active ingredients. We have vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, all packed in a daily dose of 4 capsules. There are no other companies that have been able to make such an advanced food supplement, making sure that we are meeting our daily requirements of essential nutrients than us. On top of that, we have been able to make it all natural. We have, in fact, our pioneer work has been awarded here in Norway, where the Norwegian Research Council have granted us some money to further explore into the all-natural market because of the work we did with Extend Plus.
Fantastic, Ida-Marie. Now, guys, understand that word all natural, okay? Zenzino inspires changes in life, okay? And we are making sure all of our products, and I'd be right to say that Zenzino is now the world leader in an all natural phase on all of our products that we're producing.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
so guys,
no doubt about it.
We're the game changer company when you think about it. So guys, you've been waiting 2 years for the additional products, okay? This is not our fault. Ida Marie and I would have every product sitting on the shelves here in Australia, but we are tied and bound by the TGA, Therapeutics Goods Administration, and having the approvals done. We are working tirelessly to make sure that we can, because again, we don't want to change. This formulation is a global standard and we don't want to change it or weaken it for the Australian people. So we just have to go those extra yards to prove to the TGA why this incredible formulation is the way we have formulated the product. Okay, guys, now it's time for the giveaways. Go. When you actually purchase, okay, a Xenobiotic, you'll see some specials up on the back office now. So when you go there, and right now you may have to search them. We're just, marketing is just putting them into the right categories as we speak, okay? So this is the first part of the launch. Ida Marie, your first launch of the incredible Extend Plus Premium. This is the first presentation she's done. Then it's going on to the rest of the world. When you purchase the Xenobiotic, have a look at the special. You have the opportunity of, when you purchase the special pack, okay, you can get a free lemon or a free vanilla. Your choice, whichever one you want, you can make a choice of which flavor you would prefer. We're giving you a free valued, okay, $69 Australian value for when you purchase your Xenobiotic. Unbelievable special. Then to go along with that, okay, guys, when the Ascent Premium comes along as well in 14 days or about the 15th of February, okay, when this comes up, Same thing, you'll have an offer where you can purchase a product and you'll get a free lemon or a free vanilla. So guys, jump up to the website now, go search them on the Australian website, go and tell your people. The amount of people that are on subscription here in Australia, I can tell you this product alone, we have so much great stock ready for you because we know the response is going to be absolutely crazy. So jump on, get your orders done, start communicating with it. The price point on this product is amazing. Okay, so again, I thank the corporation, okay, HQ, for the pricing that was achieved. Also on the Ascent Premium Plus, again, the price point that we've achieved on this product is amazing. Also on the vitamin D test. Now on the vitamin D test, you don't get the free oil, okay? What we've done is we've made these a really unbelievable Australian price. So guys, have a look at the pricing of this as well. Get your test done on this. We've done thousands and thousands and thousands of the balance test. Now it's time for you to get your vitamin D test done as well. Okay, Ida Marie, again, I thank you very much for your time, energy, and effort. Is there any closing statements that you'd like to just close out with as I close out this call?
I would like to say thank you to all the partners contributing to this extremely important work. There are 1 billion people vitamin D deficient worldwide. We have the tools to change that, and also the health protocol. I look forward to each day I'm going to work and be able to work with all of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Fantastic, Ida-Marie. Again, guys, if you have any issues at all finding the products online, simply drop an email to our support here in Australia or give us a call tomorrow morning from 9 a.m. We'll be there to support you, help you get your orders into the system, and make sure that you and your customers are totally looked after 100%. So again, guys, in closing, thank you to the marketing department. Fantastic job that you put together tonight. Ida Marie, thank you for all the energy you've put in to share a great PowerPoint and great information. And we look forward to having you back real soon to talk about this next step of the health protocol. Guys, don't be worried. It is coming. All right, guys, thank you so much. God bless. Take care. Let's go out and tell the world about these incredible all-natural products. Thank you, guys. Take care.